to my channel. So, fun fact. Well, kind of fun, but really not. I did a video last week, and I have to say that was probably the first recipe that I made, filmed, and got towards the end of it, and it completely, and I mean completely, went absolutely horrible. I will insert some pictures just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I saw this recipe, and this was supposed to be a video that I was going to post before I did Caden Reese's video of her cookies. It was going to be like the Halloween kind of video for you guys. And I picked this video because a couple of reasons. You know, we all have the extra Halloween candy laying around and whatnot. And my personal opinion on this, there are two people in the world when it comes to this candy, if you will. I call it Satan's breath mint. I know, funny, right? Or not? I don't know. To me it is. My twin sister absolutely loves these when it comes to candy corn. I never liked it. The only thing that I semi-like about this is the smell of it. It smells like a wonderful vanilla to me. But the taste always made me think of a nasty wax, I guess I would say. But I saw this on Pinterest, and making Butterfinger fudge from it intrigued me. So that's why I picked it, because how can you turn something nasty into something that used to be one of my absolute favorite candy bars of all time? Plus, it, you know, my husband loves Butterfinger, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to take this, spin it, and make it fabulous. So if there are people, you know, out there like me who didn't care for that candy and make it into something that is an amazing candy bar, in my opinion, that's what I'm going to do. So that's why I picked that recipe and tried it, and I will insert the pictures and I will show you these steps I followed and took and came to, and the results were, and how incredibly nasty it turned out, and why I could not post that video. Now, I know I am a recipe review channel, and some recipes do turn out as such, and to tweak and revamp and show you guys how it could turn out. At that point, when you're coming and you're dealing with fudge and it turns out like that, there is no turning back from fudge. There isn't, oh, well, I can add this to it and it can turn out this way. As you can see, all of that oil that came from the wax from the candy corn, there was no way for me to drain that oil and save it from such. So there was no reason for me to post that video and say, here, this is what you can do, there's that. So that's the reason why I didn't post that video. So I apologize for not getting that video out last week. But here we are for this video. Sorry for the long intro yet again. They're all long, I know. Sorry to my last viewer on the last channel, which was my collab with Parker Spears. And thank you to all my new subscribers that came over from Parker's channel. You guys are amazing. And a couple of you said that you guys were going to try the Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole. I hope you did. I hope you guys loved it. I sent some to my husband's supervisor who freaking loved it. So Rod, thank you for enjoying it. And I hope you guys did too. Let me know, you guys. Let me know if you guys did make it and how you enjoyed it. And thank you guys for coming over and subscribing. I love you guys. And Parker, hey. So to the one viewer, to Miss Linda O'Brien, sorry to call you out, Sweet Pea, who said that thank you for the recipe, but she fell asleep waiting for the recipe. Sweet Pea, I hope you had a good nap. And thank you for coming over. But Sweeter Peas, I just want to let you know, all of the recipes are always linked down in the description box Milo. So if you don't like to listen to this beautifulness, just kidding, not really though, you can just mute it, skip, pause, forward, that way, or just look down below, and then you don't have to listen to this beautifulness. So, sorry you fell asleep, Miss Linda O'Brien, but this is the craziness that is and happens. But I love you. Moving on, guys. So, here we are into this wonderfulness. I found this one on Facebook. That's creamy beef on shells. And I tagged my husband because anything that has to do with pasta, I kid you not. If it has anything to do with pasta and no vegetables or anything like that, he loves it. So, I tagged him a week or two ago, and he's been asking for it. So here we are, and this is what is. And we will pop on Schmoger and get into it. So you guys don't fall asleep as well. Okay? Or do, take a quick nap. Pause. Okay? I love you guys. Okay, my beautiful lovely, starting in the back from left to right, we have our shell pastas. Now, after getting all my stuff and going back on making sure I got all my stuff right, she has her own tips, and it does say that she used shells, but any pasta in your pantry will work. And I was like, oh, that would have been nice, because I would have used my little baby bow ties, because that would have been super cute. Damn me for not paying attention. Something shiny syndrome, you guys. It is real and alive and kicking. Moving on. Our tomato sauce is right there. And our ground beef is right there. And she used sharp cheddar. And anytime anyone uses sharp, I always use mild, because my husband's not really a big fan of the sharpness. So I just get mild. But again, y'all, I do have extra on standby, because why? I like my shit cheesy. Bing bong. Moving on. Beef broth. There it is. Moo broth. Moving on. And in there we have our SNP, which is salt and pepper, and our onione that is chopped into perfect cubes. I like to call them my McDonald's sizes, because my husband doesn't like onions, so I kind of chop them really tiny, like McDonald's. And right there we have our Italiano seasoning. And very interesting enough, we have our mustard powder, our paprika, we've got our minced garlic. Now check this out, guys. So if you're like me and you don't really have like the fresh garlic clovies, those guys, you know, the fresh bulbs in there, and you just have the little container of the minced garlic in there. Fun fact, a half teaspoon is equal to 1 clove. Fun fact, because it's on the container, guys. Cheese and rice, I tell you what. Anyways, moving on. And down here we have some flour and our butter, because we're going to make a roux. Yes, a roux. Okay. And our heavy cream, heavy whipping cream, and our fancy handy dandy pan here. It's rainbow. Why? Because it's beautiful. That's why. Energy Hoosers. So I went ahead and pre-boiled my pasta to al dente, and that was another tip in there, to cook it al dente, because it's going to cook a tad bit longer once it's mixed into the salts, into our latest salsa. So yeah, I don't know why I'm just becoming Italian, because there's Italian ingredients. And anyways, so now that we have that done, now we're gonna start with our ground beef in our skillet. Okay, so that's what we're gonna set up with, and let's get this party started. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so now that we got our ground beef all browned and beautiful, and our onions are all sauteed, now we are going to add our these things, you know, the garlic. Cook for another 30 seconds, because we do not want to get these all burnt, because that'd be nasty. And then we're going to remove all of the ground beef and all of this to another bowl, and then we're going to move on to our next step. Okay, so now we have our meat mixture sitting off to the side. Now we're going to start with our roux. So now we're gonna start by adding our butter. Then you want to sprinkle in your flour and then whisk that in. And then we want to gradually add in our beef stock. Okay, and we're gonna simmer this for 5 to 6 minutes. Okay, so now it looks so beautiful. I love making roux. Now we're gonna grab all of our seasonings. So that includes our mustard powder, our Italiano seasonings, and our paprika. Now I did debate on whether using the regular or smoked because my preference is using the smoked because obviously it uses that smoky, but I didn't want to overwhelm the dish, so I just went with regular. But you do you guys, it's your caciones. And then we're gonna give this a whisk. You guys, if I could tell you the smell, it is incredible. Sorry about the sounds of the whisk of the pan. Give her a good mix. Oh, gosh, it just smells so incredible. Oh, there's a truck backing up. Okay, give this a good mix and then we'll be back with the next step. Now, one thing I did omit in this recipe myself is the red pepper flakes. You can go ahead, obviously, and use that if you want, but my husband does not like that, so I omitted that. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to whisk in the heavy cream. Now I'm also gonna use my little mini spatula because I know I will need to go in and obviously get the rest out of there. So again, you guys, if you can, go and grab you a mini whisk or spatula because it has so many purposes. I tell you what, and like I always say, we do not waste any freaking ingredients because number one, money and the time you put into making your dishes is well worth it. And plus they're super cheap. They're like $2, $3. So absolutely worth the money. Go in, get all of your heavy cream. And now we're gonna whisk this in. Oh, that color is so beautiful. Look at that, guys. And I did debate on, you know, using the silicone whisk, but you guys, the ingredients just really stick to it and it doesn't really incorporate the ingredients. So again, I apologize for the sound, but for the purpose of the recipe, I had to use the wire whisk. So, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful, guys? So now we're gonna add in our pasta and our ground beef. I just wanna make sure I get all of this incorporated first. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't get over how stunning that is. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I'm gonna grab the pasta and the ground beef and we shall be right back. So, if any of y'all are like me and suffer from the something shiny syndrome, you will notice that the sauce is a different color. Has a little bit of a red hue to it. But it's because, yes, I did miss a step. So, when you're adding your beef stock into your roux, that's when you add your tomato sauce. So, I just added it now and I let it kind of simmer in there for a minute. Now I'm going to add the pasta and the beef. And then we will be back. Okay. So I added the pasta, the beef, the salt, and the pepper. And I'm just going to mix this until it's all nice and combined. You guys, the smell is absolutely freaking wonderful. So once this is all combined, I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to sprinkle with it the cheese. with the cheese. And again, like I said, I'm going to use what it was called for, the 6 ounces. But I'm telling you guys, I'm probably going to use a little more than that. So I'm going to tell you it's to your liking. To my husband's, it's a ton. And also the tips in here, it does say that the sauce will thicken after it cools. So I'm assuming that it's going to look a little runny off the bat. So I'm going to let it cool a little bit longer than what it says to. So, and also if you put the lid and cover it, it'll help the cheese melt faster, which, assuming we're all a little more common sense to that. So I'm gonna do that. Turn the heat off, sprinkle with the cheese. It says you can sprinkle with fresh chopped parsley. My feelings when it comes to any sort of green garnish, you guys, I don't. If it's a garnish, if it's for looks, I don't use it. I'm not gonna spend the money on just for looks that something tastes like dirt or whatever. So I'm not gonna do that. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then we'll be back. Okay, you guys, so a lot has happened since this has been sitting here for about 20 minutes. Anyways, I have not lifted the lid, so we are going to lift it together, guys. Here we go. Oh, heavens to Betsy. As you might be able to notice, yes, I did have to add extra cheese. You guys, these recipes, I don't know if they're just, you know, little light cheesers or what have you, but it needs to be covered. So I added about probably another cup and a half, to be honest. And this is what we got. So I'm going to scoop it for you because that's what I like to do. Here we go. Oh my. There's no doubt that we are not going to get this cheese pull here, people, because okay. Yes. Oh, heavens. This is one of those where I don't mind getting the side of the bowl messy because that's going to be worth it. Wow. So Chad is returning that truck that you heard to Home Depot at the moment. Oh, he had to move the toolboxes from the front porch to the shed. So I don't know if he'll be back in time to try this, but that ain't gonna stop me from showing you guys this, because oh my gosh, you guys, this is why we add more cheese. I mean, because that's what you want. Wow. Okay, so I'm not gonna do a whole bowl since he's not here to try it for you guys. So there's the bowl. Look at all that cheese. And then we're gonna move over to a pan. Look at that. Is that not phenomenal, you guys? So yes, my recommendation is to absolutely add more cheese because, well, I mean, if you're a cheese lover. If not, then just go ahead and just add the recommendation of the 6 ounces. But if I were you, I would load it up. So there you go, guys, another recipe that I think you should give it a go because it was a lot of fun. And just remember to add your tomato sauce with your beef broth. Actually, it doesn't matter, so. Anyways, I hope you have fun. Thank you again so much to my new subscribers. Thank you guys so, so much. I love you all, new and old. I really, really do appreciate you guys. And I will try to give you guys tips and tricks every time. Did I have any in this recipe? I don't think I did. She had her own, which I think mostly were all common sense ones that were like, duh, lady, thanks so much. Oh, just adding more cheese if you're a cheese lover. That's that. Sorry again about the other failed recipe that I just was not willing to put up. As you guys saw, just was not worth it. Next week I have a fun one. I'm super excited because the pest control guy that came, not because we have like a pest infestation, but apparently when you live out in the country, you guys, you get bugs. And nobody told me this. And when I say bugs, I mean spitters. And guys, I don't know if any of y'all are like this, but I have arachnophobia like nobody's business. And apparently we don't have daddy long legs, we have granddaddy long legs. You guys, somebody come save me because I can't do this shit. If you look them up, Lord help me, baby Jesus. Okay, that's all I have to say because did you guys know that they aren't even spitters? They're not even spitters, guys. Okay, now if that don't scare the hell out of you, I don't know what will.
So I done told my hubby, you better get somebody out here to save me, to save your ass. Because if not, I'm going to kick your ass. So Matt, thank you Matt for coming out here and putting some and all that. He's going to come back out next week. And he was like, you have a channel? What is all this equipment? I'm like, oh, hello. I do YouTube. I'm not fancy or anything, but still. He's gonna come out next week and he says, do you bake? And I'm like, duh. And he's like, do you do anything with pecan pie? I'm like, duh, what? So I'm doing something with pecan pie next week. And I said, if I do, you better be in my video. And he's like, okay. I'm like, okay. He's like, okay. I'm like, okay. Anyway, long story short, next week the pest control guy is gonna come. I'm like, but you gotta get rid of these little spitters that aren't spitters. Otherwise, I'm gonna put some spitter non-poisoning in your pecan. I'm just kidding, I wouldn't. Never, my God, these are gonna help me and save my life. Any users, I know, something shiny syndrome people, sure is getting made, I promise. Maybe that's why it hasn't gotten made. Anyway, sorry Linda O'Brien. The recipe's down in the description box below. Get ready and rip a nap. Anyway, I love you guys so much. And from my home, my heart, and my soul, and my everything to all of yours,